Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I'm in Copenhagen, Denmark. Let's go thrifting. I have found a street filled with thrift shops. So let's go check them out. The first stop was a store called Decades. There's actually two of them on this street, one across the street from the other. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Paris where there's a bunch of kilo shops. So I think they're all individually owned and operated. The one thing I do know about all of these stores is that they are so clean. And I know this is not like an ordinary thrift store in America where stuff is brought in bags and then just hung up. This is all clean stuff. It's very well organized and there's a lot of great things to see. They have a lot of denim. And so for instance, this vest is $249, which at time of taping that roughly is about $36.42. And I'll give you some of those breakdowns as we go through the video. My friend who I was traveling with found these Levi's, and actually a couple pairs of Levi's, and they were in really good shape. These are all lowercase e Levi's. They're not uppercase, they're not big E. And the difference being is that big E Levi's on the tab were made prior to 1971. And so you want to find those type of Levi's for if you want to sell those types. These were $3.99 krona, and that comes out to about $58.32. She tried on a couple pairs and she ended up buying one pair. They were in really great condition, and you know, she's repatriating them back to the United States, although I think they're made in other countries now. They're like Bangladesh and Vietnam and stuff like that. But these are great. They had some really nice Levi's. These scarves were 50 krona, which is roughly about $7.30. And there were some pretty ones. There was one in particular that I was like laughing at because this pink and green and white and black one just was so 1980s. I just thought, I remember, I think I had something like that in the 80s. If you're into costume jewelry, they do have a fair amount of that here. And a lot of the stores that I did go into did have a good amount of costume jewelry. I know there's a lot of people out there who always ask me if I've seen any costume jewelry around. I'm not really into costume jewelry. I don't sell it. It's not my thing. Although I thought I liked this pendant necklace. I thought this was cute. It was only about $4.38. There was something about it I liked, but then there was something I didn't, and I just left that behind. There were also a lot of denim jackets. They roughly ran anywhere between 43 and about 51 for the jackets, and they were also, again, in very nice condition. This LCD jacket was $51.04 or 349 krona. That's the Danish krona that they use. This is the Decades that was across the street. There's a little bit more dresses and stuff, but still a lot of denim as well. And I thought this was a really cute dress. I like that, the blues and everything on that. And this was 249 krona, about $36.42. Then down here, I noticed this denim skirt that was just popping out. I had to look at it. It's so cute with all the appliques on it. It's made by a brand called Il Dolce, not to be confused with Dolce & Gabbana. This is a Dutch brand, and this was 349 krona, which is about $51.04. Then I spotted parachute pants. These have to be. And then I thought of that scarf in the other store. Wouldn't that match perfectly? I think so. Check out those jean shorts. It feels like the 80s. And then my friend, also named Allison, yeah, it's confusing when you're traveling. She found this really cool leather purse, and I love the style. It was only $36. When I looked it up, a lot of the backpack styles are similar to that, but they're running a lot more. So keep an eye out for that style right now, because I've been seeing a lot. Okay, this street, we were there around 10:30 in the morning. Check out these North Face Gucci slides. This was Studio 1455. It wasn't open yet. There were probably 5 stores that were not open, and it was like 10:30. This one I really wanted to go into. This one looked like it had a lot of treasure to be found. Then there was another store, Thrift Planet, I really wanted to go into. This also looked like it had some cool stuff. Just check the times for a lot of these places. Veras Vintage was not open yet. While we were there, this store, Quirky Lane, did open. So I was really happy about that. We could check it out. This is more of a luxury shop. There's definitely more higher end pieces in here. And I just thought this was a really pretty silk scarf. I couldn't find the brand, but it turns out it was 199 krona, which roughly is about $29. This is a Missoni dress, 1,000 krona, about $146. There's some pulls on it though. That was the one thing I thought it was too high for that condition, especially when I found one online selling for $56.20. This is a Valentino. Honestly, I think I'd look like a potato sack in it. It was not something that I thought was very, attractive. I don't know who would look good in that. 900 krona, about $132. And it's just not my style. But this Burberry jacket was gorgeous, in beautiful condition. It was 2,200 krona, which roughly is about $320 or $321. This is definitely an investment piece that you would have forever. Then over here, there's a Missoni shirt that just reminded me of Charlie Brown. I don't know. Do you guys see it? I see it. That's all I keep seeing. And I believe this was 500 krona, which is about $73. No. Then we stopped into this store called Episode, which is a pretty large store on this street, which, by the way, at the end of the video, I have maps and everything to tell you where this street is and where to look out for it. I saw this puffer vest, which was really in great condition. It was 350 krona, about $51. And then, is it me or are overalls back in style again? And these are short overalls, I believe. They come back every like 5-10 years, I think. Everything comes back in style. This was something that was a blast from the early 80s for me. I remember having one of these purses, these denim purses, $36.48 here. There was a pair of Birkenstocks, and those were in good condition, and they ran about $36 as well. And over here, cowboy boots are big everywhere you go, even in Europe. There's cowboy boots. Then over here, Crocs were about also the same price, $36. I don't know how many people are wearing Crocs anymore. You tell me. I thought these were kind of fun. They look like Chuck Taylors to me. What do you think? They're kind of neat. They're also the same price. Now the big thing. Where are we? We're at a street called Studiestrada. That's where most of the shops are on. And the cross street is Lars Bjornstrada, something like that. I know I've totally messed it up, but I think you'll really love this street because it has so many thrift stores. Just be sure, go there, I would say more towards noon. It seemed like a lot of the shops opened at noon. There were several that opened at 10, some at 10:30 or 11, but really by noon, most of them were going to be open. Unfortunately, we had a packed day of things to do, so we weren't able to stay to see some of the other stores that I really wanted to go to. Now here's a bigger map of where we are. In the red circle, that's where Quirky Lane, Episode, and those shops all are located. And it's not far from Copenhagen University. The purple rectangle box, there are even more thrift stores over in that neighborhood. Did not go over there. And just to give you an idea of where this is in relation to Tivoli Gardens, Tivoli is circled in green. Tivoli is an amusement park which first opened in 1843 and was the inspiration for Walt Disney's Disneyland. It was really great, and I highly recommend checking it out. And it's not that far from these streets. Everything is walkable here or bikeable. Here's what Tivoli looks like on the outside. There's some other great things to see here. The Design Museum, If you're into Danish design, this is the place to see. Go check that out. It was spectacular. You really do appreciate Danish design after seeing this museum. It is really a beautiful place. I highly recommend spending a couple hours here. It was just one of those wonderful, wonderful museums. I even got to sit in the big chair. Check that out. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, and if so inclined, please subscribe. Until next time, keep on thrifting.